So Kew is this amazing oasis just a few steps from the busy city centre of London, where you can travel the world and its flora in one single day. The Princess Royal Conservatory is this big glass house. It covers 4,500 square meters, and it is divided in 10 different computer-controlled climate zones. It was opened in 1987 by Princess Diana, but it's actually named after Princess Augusta, mother of King George III, who founded the gardens. The conservatory is home to around 2,000 different taxa, and many of these are very rare, endangered or extinct in the wild. The conservatory was created to display Kew's amazing plant collection, and you can literally be in the desert, so surrounded by cacti and succulents, and step through a door and found yourself in the tropical rainforest. And I'm gonna talk you through a few of the many gems you can find in this glasshouse. So this orchid is a Catasetum. Catasetum is a genus that you can find in Central and South America, and it is characterized by having distinct female and male flower that usually don't appear on the plant at the same time. They are pollinated by big bees in the Euglossini tribe, and when the bee approaches the flower and touch these structures that looks like air, the pollen is thrown from the flower, and it's the only genus known that can actually throw the pollen out from the flower for pollination. There are sticky pads that ensure that the pollen sticks to the bee. After a few attempts going onto male flowers, the bee understands that they're not really pleasant to visit, so it will go and find a female flower and pollinate it. So this is the Titanarum, or Amorphophallus titanum, and it's native of the island of Sumatra. So if you would come when the flower is open and smell it, you probably would think immediately of like a carrion, so a dead animal on the side of the street, with a very odd note of cauliflower. It's very difficult to describe, and it's odd because it's quite repulsive. And here you can see in its leaf stage, it lasts only a couple of days. So it's always tricky to come and visit at the right time. But when we have one that is coming into bloom, we're gonna bring it from our tropical nursery into display. This tree behind me is Aristolochia arborea. It's native of the tropical forest of Central America. So the flowers imitate fungi in their shape, so you can see a little mushroom there, and in the smell they have quite a musty smell. This because they are pollinated, they attract fungus gnats that usually lay eggs onto mushrooms, and they are tricked into thinking the flower is a mushroom, and they eventually pollinate it. This plant is called Welwitschia mirabilis, and it's native of the Namib Desert. It's probably one of the oldest plants you can find on Earth. There are some specimens in the Namib Desert that are said to be around 1,000 to 2,000 years old. The crazy characteristic about this plant is that it produces two ribbon-like leaves that never stop growing, so they will keep elongating, just getting all frilly and broken at the end. And there are some specimens in the wild that are just 1.5 meters in height, but they cover with their ribbon-like leaves a few square meters around them. This is the Venus flytrap, Dionea muscipula. It is native of wet savannas and bog areas, poor in nutrients of the east coast of the United States. And it's probably the most iconic carnivorous plant. The unfortunate prey touch one of these hairs, the trap is set, and it will shut close. It release enzymes and digest the insect or the prey. The trap can catch any kind of insects, even slugs or arachnids, small spiders. Basically everything that can crawl onto the leaf and fit into the leaf. And it's an adaptation to its environment. Being very poor in nutrients, the plants can get its nutrients from digesting these preys. Each trap has a limited number of time that they can close. After those, they will actually die, so it's never good to forcefully get them to close without giving them anything to eat.